John Duckworth there, lamenting somewhat the demise of the Fitzroy Football Club. I can tell you, my mum up in Brisbane loves the fact that they're the Brisbane Lions, and it's her birthday today. Happy birthday to Mum. And I think it's been a great thing for certainly for Brisbane to have the Lions amalgamated and have that history there.
Well, it's they've become a very strong force now in the competition. Brisbane, they're the team that everyone wants to knock off. It is sad when you see clubs, I suppose, go by the wayside, and certainly Fitzroy being the last one. Very disappointing for the devout Fitzroy supporters, certainly the ones that are in come from Melbourne.
Well, on to our game day ball competition now. Wherever you're watching across Australia, this is
AFL competition.
Well, we've had all those challenges and problems ahead of us. Max, is there some advice you can give us on the Sandford footy? They own their own ground, we don't. There's a situation now where, there looks like to be a naming sponsor of Subiaco Oval. You had Football Park, now it's named something else. Is there some advice you can give us here?
Oh, I don't know. We've called our stadium Amy Stadium. We've got a wonderful sponsorship with the Amy Company, and it's going to be very beneficial to our league, so much so that at the end of the season we're going to completely seat the stadium at a cost of just under $3 million from that sponsorship. So I suppose if I could give some advice is to get as much money as you can for the naming rights, because I think they're a very valuable asset.
So when you received the monies from this sponsorship, where did it go, and did it go back into junior football, and actually has it improved footy since it's happened?
Well, it's only in its first full year of sponsorship, and the main bulk of the money is going into improving the stadium and bringing the stadium up to first-class facilities, because it's now 29 years of age. Part of it will go into junior development as well.
Mac, how can you see that? Like there was some callers on this morning, and when we did a bit of a show and talked about it and everything like that, but how do you know that the money is going back into grassroots football? People that are in grassroots football say that it's not coming there.
Well, we have a very, very aggressive marketing football development foundation which oversees the junior development throughout the state, and it's a very efficient body, and we do spend a lot of money on junior development.
Now, Max, just changing here, looks like the WA boys might take this one, hey?
Oh, I don't know. Our blokes didn't play as well as they should have in that first half. They've only got to lift a little bit, and I think they might get home.
So, Max, I know that you're retiring, but you're a commissioner with the football still. You're still going to see plenty of football yet?
Most definitely. It's in the blood, and it's pretty hard to get rid of.
Thanks very much for talking to us, Max. And Trev, I think I've found someone that you might be taller than.
Thank you very much, Rod. Come again.
Max Bashir, tremendous servant of South Australian football, 25 years as president, and I think he's actually his retirement function will be next month. There'll be lots of speeches, I'm sure, telling all the things that Max has done for South Australian footy. Stan Magro and his assistants just coming off the ground. The players are back out there, or at least the West Australians are. I don't think out and amongst the spectators of the South Australians quite yet.
I think that siren might have been taken from Fremantle Jail at some stage, wasn't it, Wayne?
It is close by,
isn't it? It is. The jail is close by, but I wish I'd move it away from the commentary box. It might just assist us a little way.
Look at those stats.
The ball down the other end of the ground from this centre clearance to be able to peg back some of the good work that South Australia have done in this first 10 minutes. Disappointing, though. They had possession. They did very well, South Australia, keep it in the offensive area. WA chipping the ball around, and eventually, by doing that, they've made a mistake, and they turn the ball over. Cost them a goal.
Bounce favours South Australia, that Western Australia finding very hard to counter.
Well, they've done pretty well, South Australia. They've brought Chambers back on, so Ambrose has had to go to him, which has allowed Dean Howard to almost become a half-forward flanker, causing him a bit of concern at the moment.
Chambers offline with that kick, one behind the result. 58 plays 31, and we've played 12 minutes in this third term here at Fremantle Oval in the state clash.
And Rod Willett was correct with Ambrose.
Conclusion for South Australia, wasn't he?
He was. Corey Archie not coming up with an ankle problem, and as a result, Brant Chambers, who has had his own problems, he had his knee cleaned out 3 or 4 weeks ago, underwent surgery, played one match back since then.
Drop punt is across the face, noticeably, and scrapes it in. or a minor score. But South Australia in charge and in control late in this third term.
Well, he's certainly been a handy replacement. He's already kicked 2. He was shooting on for his 3rd on that occasion, not to be.
Just waiting on Duckworth now to bring the ball back into play. Here's a long kick. Leading out this side, Mott.
It is in height, but just managed to get away from his opponent on 2 or 3 occasions to kick a couple of goals. Could have had 3. He missed an easy shot, so a wonderful quarter. But the dominance, their backline's been terrific today. They've been able to work the ball from half back through the midfield, and players such as Backwell and Sampson across the middle of the ground have been sensational. The half back line has been very good in keeping, the back line's been good in keeping some of the smaller players for WA, Paul Ridley, as we see the 3/4 time score, quarter by quarter.
He is a police prosecutor, as I said, so if they just use the wrong language out there, they may well find themselves in court.
I'm going to shut up too.
So Brad Chambers, a Victorian who's obviously played in the WAFL for Subiaco with Sturt in South Australia. His kicking was under question last season. He was almost a 50-50 shot for goal, which isn't all that good if you're a forward. But he's improved it this season, and that's a good kick as well by the looks of it. It's a goal. South Australia pushed the lead out to 53 points. Just to hammer another nail into that coffin, which actually probably didn't need a few nails in it.
Yeah, we don't need any more, thanks, Neil. I think it's pretty much sealed at this stage, Trevor.
Just a couple of roses will do.
But Brant Chambers started slowly, started at centre-half forward and had Richard Ambrose and was completely obliterated in the first quarter, but to come back onto the ground after being taken from the field and kicking his 3rd goal, pretty good effort.
Mott palmed it down nicely, but Kelly couldn't control it. Has his jumper taken off. Big pack develops, and the umpire whistle has sounded, and he's picked out a free kick.
The non-controlling umpire, who was 40 minutes
in Perth. The Crow-Eaters broke the game open during the 3rd quarter and went on to beat the Waffle by 60 points. Darren Bradshaw kicked 4 goals and Glenelg Grover Brett Backwell chipped in with 3.
A small crowd at Freemantle Oval, but the occasion still got the better of the Crow-Eaters early. Nerves, fumbles and mistakes allowed Western Australia to take control. The Sandgropers were determined to run at all costs, and with their half-back line and on-ballers on top, kicked the first 2 goals. South Australia finally settled. Backwell and Squire got their hands on the ball, and that seemed to give their teammates some confidence to back themselves. And by quarter time, the Crow-Eaters led by 4 points.
Then running for him was Thomas. The Central District's boys combined, and a goal for South Australia.
And after a scrappy second quarter littered with poor kicking for goal, they led by 5 at half-time. Then they made their move. They tackled a numbers, and Howard, who'd been quiet, broke free up forward. He kicked 2 goals and was helped out by Chambers. Then there was Backwell, who continued to hurt the Sandgropers with every touch he had.
The play for South Australia. Here's Backwell from 50, lines it up, sends it out in the breeze, floats back.
Bradshaw got involved as well, and at the last break, South Australia led by 35 points. The damage was done, the match as good as over, and given their slow start, the Crow-Eaters cruised to a surprisingly easy win. Paul Childs, 7 News.
The much-anticipated clash between Australia's world champion Wallaby...
Oval, very foggy, misty sort of night, heavyish sort of ground even for the Adelaide Oval, and Port Adelaide looked in control for much of the match.
It was a hard game like you'll see today with the conditions, and both teams had to keep going at it all night. But in the end, Sturt's just the last term could steady up and kick 3 goals, which was the difference. Only a 10-point margin, but so crucial to both sides, that victory last night.
Yeah, Sturt kicked a couple of goals midway through the last quarter. We'll see those in just a moment, and one of them was from a free kick. I think this will be Beveridge going down, and Beveridge taking the free kick there from umpire Tim Pfeiffer and converting, as you see, from perhaps 20 metres. At that stage, you see the score in the background. I think that put Sturt in front for the first time, and the sealer came from a kick that carried the pack in the end, but not that particular goal. Have a look at Squire here.
Oh, well, Beckham's in trouble, isn't he? That's...
Damien Squire wishes he could be paid that much money.
Real Madrid, isn't it? Stuff that.
And this is the one, and ironically from Matthew Smith, who swapped clubs just a few weeks ago, and he takes the mark on the line, having swapped from Port Adelaide to play with Sturt, and kicks the goal that really sealed the match. And so we see a 10-point margin in the end, and the Double Blues realise the need to win that match.
Yeah, well, they've been disappointed with their inconsistency this year, and to win that again just makes it all the better. They get back inside the 4, and they're still amongst the finals race.
We look at Sean Wren speaking to his players in the huddle. Just a lot of instructional stuff from Wren, and a lot of pointing the finger, I'd say, and he hasn't let us listen, and I would gather that would be why, because he is pointing the finger at a couple of players, and the possibility is there's language being used.
I think it's best for all to not put that microphone inside there at the minute. He is fired up, isn't he? And I tell you what, he's probably had a really good run. The boys have been doing everything right. I think you're just got to be careful with this one. Just come out. I know he's upset about a few things, but in the end, OK, give him a bit of a rock, but then say, hey, how good have we been for the whole year? And let's go back to the things that we do well. Don't lose your confidence now, boys. Keep it all together, and let's keep persisting. This is another 3 quarters to go here.
Sodas is close to the action. What's been going on, Sodas?
Well, Neil, considering the conditions, both sides seem to be handling the ball quite well. Sean Wren, very vocal, and you're right, we probably don't need a microphone too close to him to see that he's been pretty aggressive. A little disappointed in the fact that his players aren't showing the respect to the Central District's midfielders. When Central in possession of the ball, he wants his players to be on them, which is what he should expect. Ed Richardson also very conscious about Simon Arnott able to get onto his own. So we should see this quarter that West Adelaide do play a little bit tighter when Centrals are in possession.
Thanks for that, Sodas. Quick look at the two-league clash, and South Australia, a really good victory by 60 points. Let's have a look at some of the highlights.
Sherwood feeds it off, and the kick comes into full forward, and Chambers has taken the mark. Had some injury worries. Drop punt on the way. Looks straight. He's put it through. Plays on. Kicks to centre half forward. Ambrose in front. From behind, destroyed. Comes down to Howard. Kicked a goal a few moments ago. That's well shepherded. Brilliantly shepherded by Bradshaw.
Hand pass off to Backwell. He'll be shut down from behind. Gets the kick just in time. And on the lead comes Bradshaw. It's fallen over the back into open goal. No worries for South Australia. Brad Chambers. Sampson in turn to the run of Arnott. He's almost shut down by Kelly. Not quite. Look at the players forward of the play for South Australia. Here's Backwell from 50. Lines it up. Sends it out in the breeze. Floats back. Bradshaw does the work in the full forward position. And it's a goal to South Australia.
Backwell, he's just running riot. Backwell, and from the edge of the square, kicks it forward.
Beautiful
and
kick.
Gowans has taken the mark. Christopher Gowans, drop punt, looks okay from here. He splits the middle. Slade brings it inboard. Chambers, been a good player for them. Kicks towards full forward. Bradshaw up at the back. Howard, and what's he done with it? He dribbled it forward. He's kicked the goal. Arnott, Healy, or Slade was it?
Oh.
And Slade kicks it up towards Gowans. Good evasion by Gowans, although run down brilliantly, but he's dribbled it through, but touched.
Knocked down. Sampson roved it beautifully off the pack. Almost got dacked, but in the end he's maintained his feet somehow, and I've tried to maintain composure because that was funny.
And he's still got his pants down around his knees.
Arnold will have a shot now after the siren, and just casual as you like, goes back quickly, kicks it over the umpire's head. Another goal, and South Australia have comprehensively beaten Western Australia, and even 10 goals in the end. 60 points the margin.
The winner of the Fos Williams Medal, the best South Australian player today, is number 3, Brett Backwell.
Yeah, well, it was a real arm wrestle early in the game, wasn't it? The Western Australia side really played some really competitive footy, but our pressure and persistence in the second half, you know, we managed to break the game open a little bit in the third quarter and kick 6 goals to their 2, and in the end, that was the big deciding quarter.
And as mentioned, Brett Backwell there with 33 possessions, best on ground, and I caught up with him yesterday, in fact, to ask him if winning the Fos Williams medal was always an aim for him.
Yeah, I mean, you don't sort of go out there to get best on ground. You sort of go out to be a part of a team and play well. And